when the narcissist contemplates any interaction with you as an external object, an object that is outside the narcissist, the first thing he does, he communicates with the internal object in his mind that represents you. He communicates or interacts with you inside his mind. I prefer this state of mind, not because it's positive, but because the narcissist would always prefer the state of mind of the internal object. The reverse is also true. If you tell the narcissist all the time, I love you, I love you, I love you, and in his mind, your internal object is persecutory and hateful, he would treat you as if you hated him. He would treat you as if you were hateful. You love him. You love him, but in his mind, you hate him. The internal object that represents you in his mind hates him. So he would treat you as if you were a hater, not a lover. The narcissist says, he comes across you and he says, wow, that could be my intimate partner. I'm going to convert her into an internal object. And then I'm going to Photoshop this object and so on and so forth. And now I need to define this object. Every object has two types of definitions, intentional and extensional. So the narcissist defines your intentionality as a mother figure, loving, accepting, mind reading, and so on. But your extensionality he defines as there is no external object. This is his way of eliminating you as an external object and recreating in his mind an internal object that is not you, just represents you. So he then continues to interact with the internal object because you have no extensionality in his mind. You don't exist. You're a null set. The narcissist firmly believes that you don't exist out there, only in here. And this is null set extensionality. Null, you're zero. You don't exist. When you fail to read the narcissist's mind, you challenge the intentional dimension of you and the extensional dimension of you. When you fail to read the narcissist's mind, you prove to him that you are not a maternal figure, because mothers read the minds of their babies. And if they don't, they're not mothers. So you challenge the intentional dimension, your definition in the narcissist's mind. But you also challenge your extensional dimension. According to the narcissist, you don't exist as an external object. Your extensionality is a null set. But when you fail to read the narcissist's mind, predict his emotions and cognitions and needs and wishes and so on, when you fail to do this, you prove to the narcissist that you are separate from him, that you are not inside his mind, that you are not a part of his mind. And in this sense, you challenge the null set extensionality of you. You're telling the narcissist you're wrong. I do exist. I am an external object. I am not a zero. I am not a null set. I'm a set with one member. That one member is me, externally to you, not dependent on you. My existence is independent on you. He tries to create a clone of his mind as an internal object and to say this is you. So he takes his need to be loved, his need to be accepted, his wish for a mother, his compulsion to separate an individual. He takes all these things and he puts them inside the internal object, and then he says to you, you don't exist out there, you're not an external object, you are this internal object. But this internal object is a copy of the narcissist's mind. It's a replica, it's a clone of the narcissist's mind. And he attributes it to you, the external object. He attributes it to you, and he says, from this moment on, you're not external, you're internal, because the internal object that represents you in my mind is my mind. And how many instances of you are there outside the narcissist's mind? Zero. He tells you that there is a null set of all possible instances of you as an external object. He tells you that you are one with him. And because you are one with him, you don't have a separate existence. So how many instances of you are there? Zero. Null. And this is why I keep saying that narcissistic abuse is a unique form of abuse, unprecedented, because the narcissist absolutely needs to eliminate you as an external object. If he fails to eliminate you as an external object, you will never be his mother. If he fails to eliminate you as an external object, you will abandon him. If he fails to eliminate you as an external object, you will never read his mind. He needs to eliminate you out there in reality and recreate you in here, inside his mind, as a copy of himself. Your intentionality, your intentional with S dimension, is a mother figure which is part of the narcissist's mind. And your extensionality with an S is a null set. You don't exist out there. There are no instances of you. And when you fail to read his mind, you remind him that all this is BS, nonsense, counterfactual. You do exist. You are out there. There is at least one instance of you, and it has nothing to do with the narcissist's mind. And because you can't be one with the narcissist, you can't be his mother. This challenges and destroys everything the narcissist believes, the way he interacts with reality, his reality testing. It drives him to the point of psychosis. It is disguised psychosis. It is also reverse psychosis, whereas the psychotic can't tell the difference between his internal world and external world. The narcissist simply assimilates the external world. But it has strong elements of psychosis, including hyperreflexivity. And so this is what you're dealing with, as Otto Kernberg had observed. This is what you're dealing with. And it's very important to understand this, because all the attempts to reason with the narcissist, to contract with the narcissist, to agree with the narcissist, to make agreements with the narcissist, to create therapeutic alliances with the narcissist, common goals and agenda, this is nonsense. The narcissist is not only a child, it's a severely mentally ill child. It's a psychotic child.